Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we're going to go over the second British battleship, that being Iron Duke. Now, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, the ship is very similar to New York in playstyle and layout and just all over almost identical. So let's take a look to see what we have first. We have 52,300 health. We have a 28% torpedo resistance, which is not terrible. Up to 12 inches maximum of armor, that being on the belt and the gun turrets and barbettes. It's going to be really hard to citadel this ship. Not impossible, I have done it, but it's not going to be easy. Guns, we have a 343 millimeter gun, so about 13 and a half. We have two twin turrets in fore, two twin turrets aft, and one in the center. So again, just like New York. These guns are pretty good. Again, you have the MAP as well as AP, no high explosive. Most of the time I just use armor piercing. I do not use MAP. Gun range is 15.6 kilometers and secondary range is 4.5 kilometers. For secondaries, you have a bunch of these 6-inch casemates. I don't think you have any non-casemate secondaries. No, you just have these ones right here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each side. They may look powerful and their shell velocity is pretty good, but overall they're still pretty much useless. So secondary battery is not going to win you anything. Alright, speed. 22 knots. Again, not the fastest battleship ever. And you are at tier 5, or matchmaking tier 5, so you will run into carriers. Your AA, pretty okay-ish middle range, and no inner, and a little bit of outer, but yeah, still not much. You're not going to be scaring away any kind of aircraft at this tier. In fact, I don't even see where your guns are, so I don't think they're even modeled. Alright, regardless though, she's a pretty good ship. Between her and New York, I think I would actually take Iron Duke. But let's toss her into game and see what we can do. Alright, and here we have ourselves a game. We do have a carrier. We have 3 battleships. We have 3 cruisers and 1 destroyer. So let's see how we can do today. We actually have another player in our game too. This poor St. Louis that was tossed into a tier 5. So let's see what we can do. This is not my favorite map at all. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied at this time as well, so keep that in mind. You do get 3 heals and a repair, and I do have your focus for accuracy. I don't think you can equip AA module at this tier, and I don't have her built for secondaries, obviously because they're not going to be useful. Main gun survivability, I mean, you could, but you have 5 turrets, so I don't... even if you do lose one, you still have a pretty good amount of armament. So I went with accuracy, because you're still going to have long-range duels, and it doesn't hurt to be a little bit more accurate. But like I said, all of the British battleships are super, super accurate. And I think actually I have the accuracy module on all of them to make them just so much more pinpoint perfect. These are the sniper rifles of the battleship lines in this game. Alright, so we have a few ships out here that we can see. Not able to really hit them yet, but I guess we could, yeah. We'll leave the Tiger for later. I'm gonna see if I can nail this Königsberg. And there we go. So Tiger's over there. Who else we have? Is this St. Louis? No, it's the Leander. Alright, so we can do the same thing we just did to the Leander here. So she came around the corner. And goodbye. Oh, 88 health left, really. No, she's down. Alright, so now let's see what's next. Nothing is really in range. Well, they're in range, but I just can't hit them. Looks like this Iron Duke's trying to get around. Let's see here. Alright, yeah, so you'll be able to shoot the Iron Duke here in a moment. I can show you how her armor works. Also, look at the gun angles on this ship. A lot better than New York. Of course, the middle one is always going to be the first one to not have an angle. But overall, I don't have any complaints about it. So she's kind of angling in. You can see how just accurate those shells are. 9 out of 10 shells just hit. And 7 did fold pen damage. No citadels. Like I said, you're going to be very hard pressed to citadel this ship. But you can still get a good amount of chunk damage. She also suffers a similar fate of the German battleships, and the fact that if you aim for the casemate gun deck, you have almost guaranteed full penetration damage. Let's see if we can get some good shots on the St. Louis. A couple. Nothing major. Alright, let's speed back up a bit so we can get back into the fray. Poor St. Louis is way out of her tier. And you can just see how many shots you're able to land. Even on a bow-in St. Louis at 10 kilometers, I'm still landing almost half my shots. And that's not even a good salvo. But yeah, the accuracy of these ships are unmatched. There goes another one. Destroyers I'm going to leave alone, mainly because battleships at this tier are really not suited for handling any kind of destroyer. She's aground anyways. Alright, so let's put a salvo into this New York. Now, New York is going to have bigger guns by about half an inch caliber. So New York has 14s, Iron Duke has 13.5s. But you can still get some good damage. I think I do want to go around this island though. On the left side. Because that'll set me up for taking on the carrier. Let's actually go for the Tiger here. One thing about British battleships, since you do not have... Ooh, triple citadel, nice. Since you do not have high explosive, you are going to struggle to deal any kind of damage against lower tier carriers, where they just don't have any kind of armor whatsoever, and you're just going to overpen them. You can't actually do much besides that. You can occasionally citadel them, like in this case I would assume, since I have a more of a lengthways profile of the Zoho, I would have a better chance of getting a citadel or at least penetrations. Yep, there we go, citadel. But if she was fully broadside, I would expect just to get over pens, and that's not going to sink her as fast as you'd like it to be. So the Tiger healed a bit. Let's go after New York a bit, because I feel like my team can deal with Tiger. That was actually pretty disappointing damage from that salvo. Alright, now we gotta go play tag with a carrier. We are gonna take some damage here, because as good as maneuverable as the ship might be, she just doesn't have the AA to deal with a bunch of torpedo squadrons. So we are going to take a couple torps. Even if we do take a flooding, it's no big deal. Yep, just repair it. Pop a heal. And then we're all set to take on the carrier when she comes out. There she is. Again, we're probably just going to get over pens. Nothing too serious. But every little bit helps. You know what? Let's go into secondary brawl with her. The rest of the team has got this New York, so let's go secondary brawl. Because we're the only one besides the other carrier, or our carrier, who can actually shoot her. My secondary range at 4.5? I think so. I think the accuracy module might increase that a little bit though. So it might be up to 5 kilometers. There's no way I'm going to be able to dodge all of these torpedoes, so we're just going to have to take a couple still. And be set on fire. Got the repairs almost up. Ooh, no flooding. Awesome. We're shooting down a... We've got 5 aircraft. Right, repair. So now we're getting into 5 kilometers. And let's see what our secondaries can do. There we go, 4.5. Haha, Citadel. Alright, so as you can see, the secondaries are not going to be very good against battleships or destroyers, really, but cruisers and... Oh, I want the kill. Oh. Cruisers and carriers have a good chance of getting damaged by the secondaries. Alright, so end of the game score, we had 183,000 damage, 2 ships sunk, 77 shell hits, 9 citadels, 1 fire, and 7 secondary hits. We had 174,000 damage in main shells, and secondary battery in those 7 hits did almost 9,000 damage. And then fires did 200 damage, but wasn't really that big of a deal. So your secondaries can be powerful against the right targets, but it has to be against the right targets. So yeah, your main guns are good. Your secondary guns are pretty decent. How many aircraft did we shoot down? 5. So your AA, not spectacular, but you will knock down some. Your speed's pretty good. Maneuverability is not to complain about. So yeah, she's a pretty well balanced ship, honestly. So yeah, she's pretty good. And then that will wrap up today's video on her. Tomorrow we're going to be going over one of my favorite British battleships, Queen Elizabeth. Now, we didn't originally like her, but she's actually really, really good. So tomorrow we'll go over her. Thank you for watching and take care.